the season 5 finale, or the series finale, whatever you want to call it, of Yellowstone, titled Life is a Promise, is almost 2 hours long. Now, the build-up is really interesting because we see Beth buy land for herself and Rip to live on. We see Casey sell the land on that's Yellowstone is on to Chief Rainwater for $1.25 in order to keep it, and not anyone build on it. And then slowly we see what the whole story is about. Now, it's for 2 hours almost. It's a really interesting season finale. It should be a series finale, but the week before the season 5 finale aired, it was said in media news and entertainment news that a offshoot spin-off featuring Beth and Rip is happening and going into production. Now, I don't know if that is connected with the show The Madisons, starring Michelle Pfeiffer, which is set in the Yellowstone universe, but we will have to see. The build-up to this and the ending was done really, really well. Of course, Taylor Sheridan put himself in the episode as usual. He directed and wrote it. Okay, give kudos to that. Stay away from some of the stuff you write now and just leave it to a writer's room. And if you do the offshoot spin-off with Rip and Beth, have a writer's room. Please, I'm begging. Other than that, the aspect of what transpired was slow moving. We see Casey, coming to terms that he just wants to leave Yellowstone behind. Beth still reeling, and with the death about her father, we see the funeral happen with the cowboys and all close family members, Chief Rainwater, and, it's a really, really heartfelt scene and episode. I will say this, the way that they did the character was unjustifiable. I mean, what other way do you want, it's an easy thing where you just kill a character off of a television show because the actor doesn't want to come back. I will say this now, after so many thoughts and ideas and hearing he said this and they said this, Kevin Costner was not the problem that happened with Yellowstone. It was the network, it was Taylor Sheridan, and that's final at that. That puts the stamp on everything, and we know that. Just to see how Kevin Costner was the one to put the show on his back and to drive it for what it was and bring the ratings in, it's like, and then people stayed because they wanted to see how it would end. I will give kudos to where it's due, but the way it ended, it could have been a little bit better. The land gets sold off, it becomes a reservation. We see the aspect of everything coming down. We see Chief Rainwater looking out into the horizon and everything. And then we see how Beth gets her revenge on Jamie in a tit-for-tat badass scene. She maces him with bear mace, and she just beats the shit out of him. She gets to shit kicked out of her. I mean, it's absolutely crazy how it happened. And then Rip comes in to save her, but, she's like, wait a minute. And Rip holds her up. She stabs him and just like, you'll be the last thing you see. And she concocted a plan and everything about what happens. And it's just so well done. They take Jamie to the train station. You know what that is. Throw the body over, burn the car. That's it. Dust your hands off and move on. And that's what they did. Then we see Chief Rainwater along with Casey sign the paperwork to give the land over. Casey is just, so overwhelmed with emotion. And then we slowly see where every single character is going in their ride. Teeter, the aspect of all the cowboys that, were part of the Yellowstone. We see Lainey Wilson appear on the show again for a quick cameo appearance. And then it's like, okay. And we see Casey and his son going to a cattle auction, bring cattle to their ranch that they have. And then we see Rip and Beth on their new area and home. And it's really well done. And then we get a small narration from Elsa Dutton from 1883, where she says, for 141 years, my family has had this land. And she just goes into a very nice, heartfelt thing. Didn't expect Elsa Pataki to come back to narrate that one short scene, but it was really good. And to know that the Yellowstone and this whole history of it, from 141 years, from 1883 to 2004 now, it's finished, is wow. I mean, the lore. You had 1883, 1923 with Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren. Still got that season 2 coming out in February of 2025. I mean, for what it is, this entirety as a series was good. It took me a while to get into. I didn't start watching it until season 3. I actually binged season 1 through 3, fell in love with it. And to me, from what I understand and what I enjoyed, was season 3 was the best season of Yellowstone. The writing was good, the acting was good. It's like, okay, Gardner, that the show was supposed to be for 7 seasons. Kevin Costner couldn't do 7 seasons, so they put it down to 5. And then Kevin Costner wanted to do his own thing. That's understandable. He has a right to do his own thing. But, the network wanted to do so many other spin-offs and ideas that Taylor Sheridan had. It just put things into perspective. And the more you push off something that you want to do personally, that it's your passion project, you get kicked in the balls for it. No. Kevin Costner was not wrong for anything that happened or transpired behind the scenes in whatever with Yellowstone. I'm curious to see where everything goes from now. It said season finale. Okay, this should have been the series finale. But if they do a season 6, I don't know. But I guess the network kind of thinks that it's going to happen. But, hey, for what it is, season 5 was here or there, not the best season at all. Was it okay how it ended? Yes, very quickly. We know Jamie was behind everything because he wanted that power and the land and everything for the money and whatever forth. But Beth is a badass. Rip is a badass. Even though they're getting a spinoff, I want to see Casey have his own spinoff because I think that would be a really, really good show just to bring it in. And also maybe one season of that would be fun too. The entirety of this series, fantastic acting. Once Kevin Costner did leave, the show kind of fell flat on its face. And, you can agree or disagree on that. But for what it is, it was riding high. It ended, and that's what it is. You have to know when to end the show when it's on its high, because if people start watching it, and then, people start, commenting on that it's getting bad, you need to end the show. But for now, you left it where it was. This season finale, so far, what it's called, was good, interesting, straightforward, to the point. Beth got her revenge. In the end, Rip and Beth are happy. Very curious to see where the characters go now in the offshoot spinoff. Hopefully it's done well. Hopefully it's done right. Hopefully it's written well. And we have to see what other crazy shows Taylor Sheridan has and how many more seasons of Taylor Sheridan shows we will have. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought about the season 5 finale of Yellowstone, titled Life is a Promise. Are you happy that the show ended? Were you disappointed that the show ended? What was your favorite part? What was your least favorite part? What was your favorite season of this series? And who do you think is to blame for the whole thing that transpired behind the scenes? Is it Kevin Costner, Taylor Sheridan? Are you happy to know that Rip and Beth are getting an offshoot spinoff, that we'll see more of them? And where do you think what will happen now? And are you glad that the entire 141-year story of Yellowstone has come to an end? Or do you want to see more? Let me know in the comment section below about all the questions I just asked. I'm Mr. Filmstock. Thanks so much for tuning into my review. And I do want to thank you so much for tuning into my episodic reviews of Yellowstone and for staying with me for the past, I will say, 5-6 years that, I've been doing reviews for this show. It's been fun. It's been great. I will see you in the offshoot spinoff featuring Rip and Beth, and it's going to be interesting to see what that will be. Thank you so much, and I'll see you all later.